morning, everybody. I'm Captain Kelly McCormick. I'm the commander of Boston Police Area A7 East Boston. On behalf of the Honorable Mayor Martin Walsh and Police Commissioner Willie Gross, I would like to welcome you to this landmark event in East Boston history. In 1899, my family came to East Boston from Tickle Cove, Newfoundland, and the police station at 69 Paris Street was there. The City Yards was the original storage depot for the East Boston Elevated Railway Company. In the 1930s, my father, John Francis McCormick, played baseball across the street at the American Legion Fields, as it is officially known, and claimed to hit many a baseball onto these grounds where the new District 7 will stand. In the 1980s, I worked my summers at this park, and the officers patrolling the area used to stop by and say that a new police station was going to be built right across the street. In 1990, I did my first patrol assignments here in East Boston. You remember back then, everyone saying, oh, they're building a new station over at the City Yards. And now that day has arrived. On behalf of the community of East Boston, I would like to welcome the Honorable Mayor Martin Walsh, his staff, all the dignitaries, guests, and most important, all the neighbors of the East Boston community who have joined us today. And without further ado, I'd like to invite Pastor Dave Searles to the podium for the invocation.
Thank you, Captain. It's a great honor to be here. I want to say a word of appreciation to our police department and their work in the community. I've been a pastor here for 26 years, and the relationship between the faith community and our local police and other community agencies is a deepening work, and we so appreciate how they reach out and endeavor to do a lot of preventative work that people aren't really always aware of. And so I want to say a big thank you to our commissioner, thank you to Mayor Walsh and Captain McCormick and all the officers who serve so faithfully and diligently. Let us pray. The ancient prophet says, what does the Lord require of you? To do justice, to love mercy, to walk humbly with God. And so we pray on this occasion of the groundbreaking of a new police station here in East Boston. We pray your blessing upon this endeavor, O God. May it serve the purpose of the good work that has already been established, that it would continue to provide justice and mercy in this community. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, we pray. Amen. Amen.
Now at this time, I'd like to welcome the Honorable Martin J. Walsh, the Mayor of the City of Boston.
Thank you very much, Captain. I know you've been waiting a long time, and East Boston's been waiting a long time, and it's exciting that we're here today. So I want to thank everyone. Before I get talking about my formal remarks, Pastor, thank you very much for your prayer today, but also the peace walks. Pastor Searles is at every single peace walk in East Boston when we do them in the summertime, and it's amazing as we walk through the different communities and having him as a spiritual leader and a guide and somebody connected to the community. I truly appreciate all that you do. To the Commissioner Gross and the command staff that's here, I want to also thank all of you for being here today. To the officers of A7 that are here and the ones that can't be here with us today, congratulations on what we're going to see, a spectacular new police station. To our elected officials, City Council Lydia Edwards, City Councilor Anisha Sabi-George, State Senator Joan Balcori, and Representative Adrian Martiro. I know that this is truly a partnership, and it takes all of us to continue to work together to see advances, and thank you for that. To Pat Brophy, Chief Pat Brophy, and Trish Lyons, and everyone at Public Facilities, Brian McLaughlin, thank you. Congratulations on a great job. To Deborah Kay from Eagle Hill and all the folks from Eagle Hill, thank you for your patience. This is probably I don't know what to compare this to, this project, but it's a long time coming. You know, when I first got elected mayor, I thought we were going to be breaking ground. I was all excited, and here we are 6 years later, breaking ground. So I'm very excited. The wheels of government, we have to get it right. But I want to thank you. And real quickly, just some of the investments that are being made in East Boston. I'm going to go more into the talk about the police station, but a new EMS station at Logan Airport, add an ambulance through the advocacy of the community and elected officials. $2.5 million renovations for Engine 5, which is under construction right now. $9 million for Paris Street, the swimming pool. I know we had a meeting last week, I think it was a couple weeks ago, talking about the pool. Noyes Park, almost $5 million. Orient Heights, a senior center, $1 million. $3 million from McArdle Bridge, which is under construction. New lights from Memorial Stadium. Upgrades, resilient upgrades on our waterfront. There's a lot in a master plan. There's a lot happening in Eastie, and it's well deserved because this community is a special place, and a lot of people have a lot of interest in making sure that East Boston continues to thrive, and led by your elected officials that are here today, but also working together. So I want to thank, and that's just some of the things that we're doing. This new police station is a unique investment. It's close to $30 million. It's the first complete new station that we're building in Boston in a decade. B2 in Dudley Square opened in 2011. This will open in 2021. So it's the first time in 10 years that we're building a brand new police station in the city. It's an investment in more than dollars and cents. It's an investment in confidence in our police department, and it's a belief in the values of trust and community. The design on this project reflects our values. It's modern, it's professional, it's attractive, it's welcoming. And the really thing that's different is when people built police stations years ago, it was about arresting people, locking them up, making sure that the area that you locked them up was strong and that you booked them. Today, a police station is a central part in the community. There's an opportunity where we gather our lives around there. And it's so different today, our police stations in the city of Boston, and we need to make sure they continue to reflect the changes that we continue to make every single day. This space has a community space for use, a budget for public art, so we're going to be able to really make sure that this space truly is open space to the community. Those features strengthen the way police departments has won trust and respect of our residents. Ultimately, this investment in public safety is going to continue to help us fight to reduce crime in our city. Boston crime rate is down 25% over the last 5 years. That's a big statement, and we have to continue to make sure we bring that rate down. This is a flyby we have for you today. I don't know who that is, but in the most recent crime stats in A7, crime is down 15% over the last year. So when you think about in this district here, that's clap line, because they've done an amazing job. And a lot of this is due to the incredible work of our police and community policing and the strong community. We've increased our opportunities for young people in our city and people trying to turn their lives around. What we're trying to do here, I think, is working, and we can't take all the credit. It's the nonprofits, it's the Boys and Girls Clubs, it's the YMCA's, it's the community centers, it's our peace walks, it's the organizations, it's our food pantry that Council Edwards started. It's all of those different things that we have in our community. It's Manny at the health center. It's all of these different organizations that we have in our community to help people and advance people. And that's really what we have to continue to do, is love people and respect each other as a community. We can't and we shouldn't get complacent. We have to keep investing and keep innovating and keep expanding opportunity in our city, and that's what the station's all about. It's a commitment that all of us are making for the next generation, for our youth. It's not just a place to go when you're in trouble. It's a place you can learn about law enforcement careers, or get mentoring, join a youth group, or even just come and talk about an issue that's concerning to your community, like the folks at the gate here who are concerning about the environment in the substation. That's what's going to happen at these places, where we can sit down and have those conversations. So I want to thank everyone for being here today. It is exciting to be here today. It's exciting to finally break ground on this great police station, and I look forward to being back here in 2021 when we cut the ribbon. So thank you, Captain.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I would like to invite the Police Commissioner of the City of Boston, William J. Gross.
I call the good Captain General Patton. He gets the job done. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What a great day it is. I'm going to tell you, I started my career in Area A, 1, 15, and A7 in 1985. This is a great day because Boston's different than it was in 1985. The police department's different than it was in 1985. Look at the face of politics. Look at the face of law enforcement. Look at the face of the community. Today is about 21st century policing, which is community policing. What you see here before you folks is our police station, all of you right here. From our great elected officials to the health center, command staff, the people of East Boston, this is our station. As the mayor alluded to about the crime rate being down, never think that when we tout the numbers that it just means police. This is community policing. Community policing is this: the police, the clergy, the community, our health facilities, institutions of higher learning, even our great professional sports teams, the media, everybody working together to solve problems to make it a better quality of life for everyone. That's what we're going to have in our new police station, a better quality of life. East Boston deserves it. We've been waiting a long time. And we just like you all to know that wouldn't have been possible without the community, specifically Mayor Walsh. Thank you. Thank you for the new digs. And this is what this is about. This is a breaking of the ground for a new family station. So thank you very much, especially Captain. Thank you, General Patton. Thank you for my command staff being here. And thank you, community. Thank you, Mayor and elected officials. This is our place. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium our District Council, Lydia Edwards, please. Thank you, Lydia.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is a beautiful day for East Boston. It's a beautiful day for our community. As the previous speakers have alluded to, this is truly a day to actually enhance our community. I'd like to note that the physical location, taking the police station actually away from connecting to the courthouse, is something that's also something that we should focus on, because it's no longer now directly going into the courthouse that folks can go. We're in the community. We're actually closer to the high school. We're closer to local businesses. That is true community policing. It's a police station that everyone has access to, where there's a public room, where folks can come and talk, where there may be some mediation, where we can kick off maybe some of our peace walks up here versus just down in Maverick Square. I think that this is actually going to increase the amount of policing that we have, community policing that we have in East Boston. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the growing of our relationship. It also assures that we're more responsive. This is our house now. This is a new house of gathering, just like our churches, just like our schools, just like other places where people come to meet, to have a coffee and talk. We'll be safer because of it. And I want to thank the mayor for his investment. I want to thank my other city councilor colleagues for voting on that $30 million to make sure we had that investment. I also want to thank my colleagues in the State House, Adrian and Joe. Working with you guys, honestly, we're the three amigos. We say that all the time. We're in lockstep because we truly love East Boston. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm excited to break ground. I'm excited to be a part of this.
Thank you, Councilor. At this time, I'd like to invite our State Senator, Joe Boncory, to come up and speak.
Thank you, Captain McCormick, and as wonderful of a day this is for the East Boston community, it should be celebrated by you too, because this isn't just an investment in a building, it's an investment in Area 7. It's an investment in you and the men and women who serve us every day in the great community of East Boston. And we celebrate that today along with you. This truly is a wonderful day. I spent a lot of time in the East Boston District Court, which is connected to the current police station, and the state of disrepair of those buildings was becoming a tenuous situation. And that court did remind people of different things, and so too did that police station. But this state-of-the-art building that's depicted on my right is really what community policing is all about. This is not just a lockup. This is a place where people can come in our community and get resources. This is a place where youth in our community can come and get services that they so desperately need in these times. And it's an incredible investment. And it's a great day for this community of East Boston. It's a great day for this neighborhood of Eagle Hill. And I want to recognize Deborah Cave, who's really rode the ride of seeing this through, along with so many other community members. And I want to thank the City Council for their vote and their investment. But really, Mayor, this is a wonderful day to celebrate with you as you put your shoulder to the wheel on this, saw it through. Last year it was an ambulance. This year it's a police station. We're looking forward to next year. So I want to thank you all. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to living better.
Thank you, Senator. At this time, I'd like to invite the state representative for East Boston up, Adrian Madaro.
Good morning, everybody. What an exciting day this is. You know, I was talking with my mother, Deborah Cave, who you'll hear from shortly, a few days ago about this event. And she was sharing with me that it was a couple decades ago that she was talking about doing this police station here at the base of Eagle Hill with former Mayor Menino. And certainly this community has waited a long time for this police station. And Mayor Walsh, to you and your team, thank you for making this a priority. Thank you for finally getting this over the goal line for us. This is such an exciting day for East Boston. And it really could not be more timely. I was recently visiting with Captain McCormick and his amazing team at District A7, which I just have to pause for one moment and recognize them, because when we talk about community policing, we have it so strong here in East Boston. Many of our officers have deep roots, like you heard from Captain McCormick in East Boston, and that means a lot because we do have very positive relationships with the community, with the clergy, with our police, not just in Eastie, but across the city, and that's in large part due to you, Commissioner Gross, so thank you for your leadership as well. But I was recently visiting with the captain and his team in East Boston. There were some rooms on the second floor the police can't even use. The ceiling is crumbling. The building is falling apart. We have to show the respect to our officers that they deserve for the hard work they do for us each and every day. And that starts with giving them the resources that they need to do an effective job. And that's what we have here in this poster with our brand new police station. This is going to transform our community. First of all, giving them such a state-of-the-art facility, but even beyond that, we are now moving the police station to a much more central location in East Boston, allowing our District A7 officers to respond more efficiently, more quickly, more effectively to whatever's happening across our neighborhood. Again, I could not be more excited. Thank you all to the community for being patient over the years as we've been planning this and for seeing this through. This is really an exciting day for East Boston. Thank you so much. Next up, you're going to hear from another one of our councilors, which I have to echo my senator's comments to the city council. Thank you for approving the money for this. But next up, you're going to hear from one of our at-large city councilors, Anissa Asabi George. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rep, and thank you all for being here. I am not from East Boston, so don't quite fit into the trio, although every now and then I'll be a fourth wheel and happy to do it. But as a former teacher at East Boston High, this part of East Boston, Eagle Hill, is very special to me. And although I spent 13 years in the classroom, some of my most productive teaching happened here at the City Yards when I was coaching. So to really fully activate this space, the city invested in the City Yards a number of years ago, and it's a beautiful space. So to continue the activation of this portion of Eagle Hill along Chelsea Creek is really very appropriate and long overdue. So to support this investment, to be a part of today's celebration, kicking off this renewed attention to this section of East Boston, and to really create that community center that Lydia discussed. Although it's a police station, it is definitely going to be part of the community here. So I'm happy to be a part of it, happy to be a part of this celebration. Unlike, I think, the rest of the East Boston delegation, I've worn my blue and gold to celebrate my Eastie pride and all that is great about this community. Thank you, Captain, and thank you all.
I'd like to remind the councilor that I'm wearing my blue and gold too. At this time, I'd like to invite the most important person in East Boston up to speak, Adrian's mom. Deborah Cave, please.
Hi, everybody. It was about 15 years ago that I went to a series of meetings at our police station, and I had really never been there before, fortunately. And when I walked in, I looked around and I thought, oh my God, this place is decrepit. And these policemen deserve much better than this. So we went to the meetings, and I remember talking to Mayor Menino about the police station, and it was in such bad shape. And I heard that we were going to have a new police station somewhere in this area. Well, 15 years later, people in the community would say, so Deborah, what's going on? Are we going to have the police station? And I would say, yeah, and they'd say, no, it's not going to happen. Stop being unrealistic. But I believed that it would. So here we are in Eagle Hill, which is really the most densely populated neighborhood in East Boston. And now we're going to have this beautiful state-of-the-art police station with a community room, which, by the way, Eagle Hill is always looking. Joe Boncory has been so generous letting us use the high school for our meetings. But I know that it's, No, what did I say? Phil Brangiforti, sorry. Phil, where are you? Do you know at every meeting I always mess up a name, and that this is typical of me? But anyway, so they've been so generous at East Boston High to let us use their space, but I know that it's a convenience every time. So maybe this is where we can have our new meetings now, I don't know. But we're just so thrilled at Eagle Hill to see this finally happening and to be in the center of the community where there's a lot of action. There are children playing across the street, tons of people using that space. So we're all so thrilled. Mayor Walsh, thank you so much for making this happen. And I want to say that, you know, we are one of the safest neighborhoods in the city of Boston. And I give credit not only to the people of East Boston and to all of the agencies that we have, but really we have to credit our police. We have the most wonderful policemen and women working in this community. I love them, I really do. They're wonderful people. They're always there when you need them. And they deserve this facility, as does the community. So thank you all for what you do, and thank you all for being here to celebrate this event.
Adrian, you have competition.
Oh, I know. Gotta keep her close.
Everything you learned from her. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to invite all the speakers and all the elected officials to step over to my left for the ceremonial groundbreaking. Thank you.